Meeting Donald Trump, like meeting any high-profile figure, can be a challenging process. However, there are a few ways you might be able to meet him. Depending on your circumstances, purpose, and resources, here are some potential approaches. 1. Attend public events or rallies. Political campaigns and rallies. As a former president and a prominent political figure, Donald Trump frequently holds public events, rallies, and speeches, particularly when he is campaigning. These events are often open to the public, and attending one of these rallies might offer you an opportunity to see him in person. However, meeting him personally at such events can be difficult as the crowds are usually large, and security is tight. Conferences and fundraisers. Trump occasionally participates in conferences, speaking engagements, and fundraising events. These gatherings may provide an opportunity to meet him if you can secure an invitation or a spot at the event. Some of these events are private and require specific credentials or significant financial contributions to attend. 2. Attend private events or fundraising dinners. Fundraising and charity events. Trump often hosts or attends private fundraising dinners and events, where you can meet him in a more intimate setting. To attend these events, you might need to be invited or make a significant donation to his political campaign or charity. These events often attract high-profile individuals, and getting a chance to speak with him might be easier in a smaller, controlled environment. Membership at Trump clubs or properties. Trump owns several private clubs and properties, such as Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Becoming a member of one of these clubs could increase your chances of meeting him. Membership often requires significant financial investment, but it could provide access to events where Trump is present. 3. Networking through political or business channels. Political connections. If you have connections within the political sphere, especially among those aligned with Trump or his supporters, networking with these individuals may open opportunities for a meeting. Engaging with political events, speaking at conservative gatherings, or establishing yourself as a key figure in politics could increase your chances of being invited to meet him. Business networking. Trump is also involved in business, particularly real estate and golf. If you work in a relevant industry or have a successful business that aligns with his interests, building connections in these fields might help you secure a meeting with him. Business-related meetings and networking events, such as those held by the Trump Organization, could provide opportunities for interaction. 4. Social media and public invitations. Social media outreach. While this may seem unlikely, reaching out to Donald Trump through his social media accounts, such as Twitter, he is very active on social media, could potentially get you a response, especially if you have a compelling reason for meeting him. However, given the high volume of messages he receives, the chances of getting a direct response are minimal. Public appearances and interviews. Trump occasionally grants interviews and public appearances where he may take questions from the audience or engage with the public. These events can be a way to briefly interact with him or at least have a chance to speak to him directly. 5. Contacting through official channels. Contacting through his team. Another option is to contact Donald Trump's official team, including his office or public relations staff, who may be able to help facilitate a meeting. You can send a formal request, including your reasons for wanting to meet him. This approach can be difficult, and the likelihood of success depends on the nature of your request and how it aligns with his interests or goals. Trump's legal or business representatives. If your request is business-related or involves a legal matter, reaching out through his legal or business representatives might be a more formal route. 6. Consideration for special circumstances. If you are a high-profile individual, public figures, celebrities, or individuals with significant influence or media presence may have a better chance of meeting Donald Trump. Being in the right circle, having a notable reputation, or being invited to exclusive events could offer a greater likelihood of getting a personal meeting. 7. Be persistent but respectful. Building relationships. Gaining access to Donald Trump requires persistence and, often, building relationships with people who can help facilitate an introduction. Approaching the process respectfully and with a clear, legitimate purpose will increase your chances of success. Conclusion. Meeting Donald Trump is not an easy task and typically requires being in the right place at the right time. Whether through attending public events, networking in political or business circles, or using social media to make contact. It's important to have a compelling reason for wanting to meet him. Given his stature and the level of security surrounding him, direct access to him is limited. However, by pursuing one of these avenues, you may increase your chances of having an opportunity to meet him in person. Donald Trump, as a businessman, television personality, and 45th President of the United States, has been a polarizing figure in both his professional and political life. However, several of his actions and achievements, which he often highlights as his greatest accomplishments, have had a significant impact on business, politics, and the global stage. Here are some of the greatest things Donald Trump has done, according to his supporters and even some neutral observers. 1. Revitalizing the U.S. economy, pre-COVID. Strong economic growth. Under Trump's leadership, the U.S. economy experienced robust growth. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the country saw historically low unemployment rates, with job growth across various sectors, including manufacturing, healthcare, and technology. The stock market reached record highs, and there were substantial tax cuts for corporations and individuals aimed at stimulating investment and consumer spending. Job creation. One of Trump's major accomplishments was the creation of millions of jobs. With significant gains in both the private and public sectors, his administration promoted policies that encouraged businesses to expand and hire more workers, leading to the lowest unemployment rates in decades, including a historic low for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and women in the workforce. 2. Tax reform. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, 2017. One of Trump's major legislative achievements was the passage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which reduced corporate tax rates from 35% to 21% and lowered individual tax rates. This reform was designed to encourage business investment, promote economic growth, and increase wages. Critics argue that it disproportionately benefited the wealthy and corporations, but supporters argue that it created jobs, boosted the economy, and allowed businesses to reinvest their profits in the U.S. 3. Deregulation. Reducing government regulations. Trump's administration made significant efforts to reduce government regulations, particularly those perceived as burdensome to businesses. He implemented a policy of 2 out, 1 in, meaning that for every new regulation introduced, 2 existing regulations would be eliminated. These moves were particularly popular in industries like energy, manufacturing, and agriculture, where many businesses felt constrained by environmental and labor regulations. Energy independence. Under Trump, the U.S. became one of the world's leading producers of oil and natural gas. He supported policies that promoted energy production, including opening up drilling in previously protected areas like the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. This focus on energy independence allowed the U.S. to become a net exporter of energy, reducing reliance on foreign oil and strengthening national security. 4. Criminal justice reform. The First Step Act, 2018. One of Trump's bipartisan achievements was the signing of the First Step Act, a landmark criminal justice reform bill aimed at reducing mass incarceration in the U.S. The bill included provisions to reduce mandatory minimum sentences for certain nonviolent offenders, expand vocational training programs in prisons, and allow inmates to earn credits for good behavior to reduce sentences. The legislation was praised by criminal justice reform advocates as a step toward addressing disparities in the U.S. justice system. 5. Foreign policy and national security. Middle East peace agreements. One of Trump's most significant foreign policy achievements was brokering a series of normalization agreements between Israel and several Arab countries, known as the Abraham Accords. Countries like the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco agreed to establish diplomatic relations with Israel, breaking long-standing diplomatic taboos in the region. These agreements were hailed as a major step toward peace in the Middle East. Tough stance on China. Trump's administration took a hard-line stance against China, focusing on trade imbalances and intellectual property theft. He implemented tariffs on Chinese goods and initiated a trade war, which aimed to address issues like unfair trade practices. Trump also took a strong position on China's human rights record, especially concerning its treatment of Uyghurs and the Hong Kong pro-democracy movement. North Korea diplomacy. While his efforts were controversial, Trump's approach to North Korea, particularly his meetings with Kim Jong-un, marked a shift in U.S. foreign policy. Trump became the first sitting U.S. president to meet with a North Korean leader, which led to brief periods of diplomacy and discussions aimed at denuclearization. 6. Judicial appointments. Supreme Court appointments. Trump successfully appointed 3 justices to the U.S. Supreme Court during his term: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These appointments shifted the balance of the court toward a conservative majority, which is likely to impact U.S. law for decades to come, particularly on issues like abortion, gun rights, and religious freedom. Trump also appointed numerous federal judges to lower courts, reshaping the judicial landscape across the country. 7. America First and trade policies. America First agenda. Trump's America First approach to foreign policy aimed to prioritize U.S. interests above those of other nations. This was particularly evident in his stance on trade, where he argued for fairer deals for American workers. Under this policy, he renegotiated trade agreements such as the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, replacing it with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. He also withdrew the U.S. from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, a multilateral trade deal, arguing that it was unfavorable to American interests. Trade war with China. While controversial, Trump's trade war with China aimed to reduce the trade deficit with China and address intellectual property theft. He imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, which led to a series of negotiations and, eventually, the Phase 1 trade deal in 2020. Though many critics argue that the trade war hurt American consumers and farmers in the short term. 8. Immigration and border security. Border security and immigration reform. Trump made immigration a central issue of his presidency, promising to secure the southern U.S. border and limit illegal immigration. His administration focused on building a border wall, increasing the number of immigration officers, and implementing stricter immigration policies. While the wall itself was never fully completed, his policies aimed at restricting illegal immigration were a key part of his platform. DACA and immigration policies. Trump attempted to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals (DACA) program, which provided protection for young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. His administration also sought to reduce the number of refugees and asylum seekers entering the country, citing national security concerns and economic impacts. Conclusion: Donald Trump's presidency was marked by significant, sometimes controversial, achievements. His economic policies, tax reforms, judicial appointments, and foreign diplomacy, particularly in the Middle East, were among his most noteworthy contributions. While his time in office was tumultuous and his actions often polarizing, Trump undeniably left a lasting impact on U.S. politics, governance, and global relations. These accomplishments, especially in the areas of economic growth, judicial influence, and foreign policy, are often cited as the most significant aspects of his legacy. Donald Trump's personality has been widely analyzed and discussed throughout his career in business, television, and politics. His character and leadership style have drawn both admiration and criticism, making him a highly polarizing figure. Here's an analysis of his personality based on various observations and public behaviors. 1. Confidence and self-belief. High self-confidence. Donald Trump is known for his extreme confidence, which has been a hallmark of his persona. He often projects an image of self-assurance, frequently asserting that he is the best at everything he does, whether it's running a business or negotiating deals. This trait is central to his public image, and he has stated multiple times that his belief in his abilities has been crucial to his success. Ego. Trump's confidence often crosses into what some may perceive as arrogance. He tends to emphasize his achievements, both past and present, and presents himself as a winner. He has described himself as a very stable genius, highlighting his belief in his intellect and decision-making. 2. Decisiveness and risk-taking. Bold decision-making. Trump's personality is marked by decisiveness. He is not afraid to make quick, bold decisions, even if they are controversial. Whether in his business ventures or during his presidency, Trump often favored acting quickly and firmly, which resonated with his supporters who admired his directness. Risk-taking. His career as a businessman demonstrates a willingness to take significant risks. For example, his major real estate ventures and even his decision to run for president were bold moves that required taking calculated risks, often involving high stakes. This trait contributed to both his successes and his controversies. 3. Authoritarian and commanding. Authoritarian leadership. Trump's leadership style leans towards authoritarianism. He is often described as someone who prefers to be in control and has a "my way or the highway" mentality. He is known for making decisions independently and is not always open to dissenting opinions or criticism, especially from those he perceives as disloyal. Commanding presence. Trump's commanding personality has been one of his most recognizable traits. His speeches and public appearances are often marked by strong language and a focus on asserting his authority. He communicates with a certain level of aggression and is quick to challenge opponents. 4. Pragmatic and opportunistic. Pragmatism. Trump is seen as a pragmatic person who focuses on what works rather than adhering strictly to ideology or tradition. This is evident in his approach to both business and politics, where he has often adjusted his views to fit what he sees as the most effective approach to achieving his goals. Opportunism. Trump's opportunistic nature has been evident throughout his career. He is known for seizing chances as they come, whether in business deals or political campaigns. His ability to adapt to changing circumstances and capitalize on opportunities has contributed to his success, although this opportunistic behavior has also drawn criticism. 5. Emotional reactivity and combative nature. Emotional reactivity. Trump's emotional nature is often on display, especially on social media. He is quick to respond to criticism and is known for his combative, sometimes vengeful reactions. This emotional intensity often leads him into public feuds, particularly with political opponents and the media. Combative. Trump is confrontational by nature and has a tendency to engage in verbal battles with critics. His combative style is reflected in his use of strong, often inflammatory language, which rallies his supporters but also alienates his detractors. His responses to criticism are typically blunt and unfiltered, which contributes to the perception of him as unpredictable. 6. Narcissism and self-promotion. Narcissism. Many observers have noted that Trump displays traits consistent with narcissism. He often focuses on his personal achievements and likes to be the center of attention. His frequent self-promotion and need for admiration from others are defining aspects of his personality. Self-promotion. Throughout his career, Trump has built his public persona around self-promotion. Whether through the media or his businesses, he constantly reinforces his brand and image, often touting his success and unique qualities. 7. Populist and charismatic. Populism. Trump's personality is deeply connected to his populist approach, especially during his presidential campaign and presidency. He presents himself as someone who understands and fights for the average person, often using language that resonates with the frustrations and desires of working-class Americans. His outsider status, being a businessman rather than a career politician, helped him connect with voters seeking change. Charismatic appeal. Despite his often controversial behavior, Trump's charisma is undeniable. His confident, larger-than-life persona appeals to many people, particularly those who feel disconnected from traditional politicians. His ability to rally crowds and create a sense of excitement around his candidacy and presidency was a key factor in his success. 8. Pragmatic and results-oriented. Focus on results. Trump's personality emphasizes practicality and results. He is often focused on achieving tangible outcomes, whether in business or politics. His deal-making mentality, shaped by his real estate background, translates into a results-oriented approach to leadership, where the focus is on achieving objectives rather than following bureaucratic processes. Conclusion. Donald Trump's personality can be described as complex and multifaceted. He is a bold, confident, and decisive figure with a commanding presence, a strong ego, and a focus on achieving results. However, his leadership style also displays elements of authoritarianism, emotional reactivity, and opportunism, while his supporters admire his directness and willingness to challenge the status quo. His critics view these same traits as problematic, especially in the context of his confrontational and often divisive rhetoric. Overall, Trump's personality has played a significant role in shaping both his business empire and his political career. Certainly. Here's an overview of Donald Trump, former President of the United States. Presented in English. Donald Trump, like any prominent public figure, has faced various controversies and challenges throughout his life and career. While he has achieved significant success in business and politics, there are several aspects of his life that have been considered regrets or missteps by critics and even some supporters. Here are some of the notable regrets or points of contention that have surrounded him. 1. Business failures and bankruptcy. Multiple bankruptcies. One of the more well-known aspects of Trump's career is his series of business failures. Particularly in the 1990s, several of his companies, including casinos and real estate projects, filed for bankruptcy. Though he personally was not bankrupt, his companies filed for bankruptcy several times. These failures led to significant financial losses, tarnishing his business reputation for a period of time. Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Trump's investment in the casino industry, particularly in Atlantic City, did not meet expectations. The Trump Taj Mahal Casino filed for bankruptcy in 1991, followed by the Trump Plaza and Trump Castle casinos. Critics argue that these failures were among the key reasons Trump's business suffered financial instability during that era. 2. Divorce and family relationships. Marital issues. Trump's divorces have often been a subject of public scrutiny. His marriage to Ivana Trump ended in 1992 after a highly publicized divorce. He later married Marla Maples in 1993, but that marriage ended in divorce in 1999. His third marriage to Melania Trump, though long-lasting, has often faced public speculation regarding its dynamics. Family strains. Trump's relationships with his children and ex-wives have often been a source of public interest. The high-profile nature of his divorces and personal life, combined with his sometimes controversial actions, has led to criticism regarding how he balances family life with his public persona. His relationship with his eldest children, especially his sons Donald Jr. and Eric, and his daughter Ivanka, has been a topic of debate, particularly around their roles in his business and political career. 3. Polarizing leadership and divisive rhetoric. Divisive language. Throughout his career, especially during his presidency, Trump's rhetoric has been widely criticized for being divisive and inflammatory. He has used harsh language against political opponents, the media, and various minority groups. His comments have often been interpreted as racially insensitive, misogynistic, and outright offensive. These remarks have alienated large segments of the population and led to deepening political and social divisions in the United States. Failure to bridge divides. While Trump successfully galvanized a large segment of the American electorate, his presidency also saw the deepening of political polarization. His inability or unwillingness to unite the country has been a significant point of criticism, especially following incidents like the violent Charlottesville rally in 2017 and the Capitol insurrection in 2021. 4. Handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Delayed response to COVID-19. One of the most significant criticisms of Trump's presidency was his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He was accused of downplaying the severity of the virus early on, providing mixed messages, and not implementing swift federal action. Critics argue that his administration's failure to take the pandemic seriously in its early stages led to unnecessary deaths and economic damage. Public health misinformation. Trump often contradicted public health experts, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, by making statements that undermined science, such as promoting unproven treatments or downplaying mask usage. His handling of the pandemic is considered by many to be one of the most significant regrets of his presidency. 5. Impeachment and legal troubles. First impeachment, 2019. Trump became the third U.S. president to be impeached by the House of Representatives in December 2019. He was accused of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress related to his dealings with Ukraine, where he was alleged to have pressured Ukraine's president to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, while he was acquitted by the Senate. The impeachment further tarnished his legacy and was a significant moment of division in American politics. Second impeachment, 2021, after the January 6 Capitol riot. Trump was impeached a second time by the House of Representatives, making him the first president in U.S. history to be impeached twice. He was accused of inciting an insurrection, although he was acquitted again by the Senate. His role in the events surrounding the Capitol riot is viewed as a dark chapter in his presidency. 6. Controversial business practices. Trump University. The Trump University scandal is another notable regret for the former president. The for-profit educational company, which offered real estate courses, faced accusations of fraud, with plaintiffs claiming that they were misled into paying thousands of dollars for courses that failed to deliver the promised education. Trump faced legal battles over the company, which eventually settled for $25 million in 2016. Tax evasion allegations. Trump's tax returns were scrutinized during his presidency, particularly after investigative reports revealed that he paid very little federal income tax in certain years. The revelation raised questions about his wealth, business practices, and financial transparency, leading to public criticism over his tax strategies. 7. Environmental policies. Rolling back environmental protections. During his presidency, Trump rolled back numerous environmental regulations, including efforts to combat climate change. His administration withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement, a move widely criticized by environmentalists and world leaders. Critics argue that his policies have negatively impacted the environment and hindered global efforts to address climate change. 8. Personal attacks and public image. Public controversies and attacks. Trump's personality and actions have led to numerous personal attacks and public controversies. His Twitter account, often used to attack opponents, spread misinformation, and make controversial statements, became a tool of both engagement and division. These public attacks and his combative nature have often overshadowed his policy achievements, leaving him with a reputation as a polarizing figure. Conclusion. While Donald Trump has achieved considerable success in business and politics, his career has also been marked by significant regrets and controversies. His leadership style, divisive rhetoric, handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, and legal challenges have contributed to a complex and often contentious legacy. These points of contention, while shaping his public persona, also serve as reminders of the more regrettable aspects of his personal and political life. Donald Trump, born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, is an American businessman, television personality, and politician. He served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. Business career, **** Trump's career began in his family's real estate business, Elizabeth Trump & Son, which he later renamed the Trump Organization. He developed numerous high-profile real estate projects, including Trump Tower in New York City, and expanded into hotels, casinos, and golf courses. He also gained significant public recognition through his role as the host of the reality television show, The Apprentice. His business career has been marked by both successes and bankruptcies. Political career, Trump ventured into politics relatively late in his career. He had previously expressed various political views and affiliations. In June 2015, he announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination for President of the United States. His campaign was characterized by populist rhetoric, a focus on issues such as immigration and trade, and a direct communication style through rallies and social media. He won the 2016 presidential election, defeating Hillary Clinton. Presidency, 2017 to 2021, Domestic policy. His key policy initiatives included Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, deregulation across various sectors, and conservative judicial appointments, including 3 Supreme Court justices. He also pursued efforts to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, ACA. Foreign policy. Trump's foreign policy was characterized by an America First approach. He withdrew the U.S. from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement and the Paris Agreement on Climate Change. He also renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, resulting in the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. His administration pursued a more confrontational stance towards China and Iran. Controversies and impeachments. His presidency was marked by numerous controversies, including investigations into Russian interference in the 2016 election and his communications with Ukraine. He was impeached twice by the House of Representatives. The first impeachment in 2019 was related to abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, while the second in 2021 was for incitement of insurrection following the January 6 Capitol attack. He was acquitted in both Senate trials. Post-presidency. Following his departure from the White House, Trump has remained active in Republican politics. He has continued to hold rallies and endorse candidates for various political offices. He has also faced ongoing legal challenges and investigations related to his business dealings and his actions during and after his presidency. He announced his candidacy for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Personality and style. Trump is known for his assertive and often unconventional communication style. He frequently uses social media, particularly Twitter, now X, to express his views directly. His rallies are a significant part of his political persona, characterized by strong rhetoric and direct engagement with supporters. He has cultivated a populist image, appealing to a base of voters who feel left behind by the traditional political establishment. In summary, Donald Trump is a complex and often polarizing figure whose career has spanned business, entertainment, and politics, culminating in a single term as President of the United States. His presidency was characterized by significant policy changes, numerous controversies, and a distinctive communication style that resonated strongly with his supporters while drawing considerable criticism from his opponents. Early years in the Trump Organization. Family foundation. Donald Trump's business career began with his father, Fred Trump, who was a successful real estate developer in Queens and Brooklyn, New York. Donald worked in his father's company, Elizabeth Trump & Son, after graduating from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Expansion into Manhattan. In the 1970s, Donald Trump moved into Manhattan, seeking to expand the family business into more prestigious and lucrative projects. The Trump Organization. He eventually took control of the company and rebranded it as the Trump Organization, diversifying its holdings beyond residential developments. Key business ventures. Real estate development. Trump Tower, a landmark skyscraper in Manhattan, completed in 1983, which became a symbol of his success. Numerous other residential and commercial properties in New York City and beyond. He has also developed golf courses, hotels, and resorts worldwide, casinos and hotels. He ventured into the casino business in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in the 1980s, with mixed results. His hotel business includes the Trump International Hotel and Tower brand. Entertainment and branding. The Apprentice, his reality television show, which ran from 2004 to 2017, significantly boosted his public profile and brand recognition. He has licensed his name for various products and services, including clothing, furniture, and bottled water. Financial challenges and bankruptcies. Trump's business career has been marked by both successes and failures. Several of his casino ventures in Atlantic City filed for bankruptcy in the 1990s and 2000s. It is important to understand that the bankruptcies filed were Chapter 11 bankruptcies. These bankruptcies are business bankruptcies that allow the business to reorganize their debt and continue operating. These bankruptcies did not represent a personal bankruptcy filing by Donald Trump. He has faced numerous lawsuits and financial challenges throughout his career. Business style. Trump is known for his aggressive negotiation tactics and his focus on branding and self-promotion. He has often used debt to finance his projects, which has contributed to his financial volatility. He has a very public persona that is used to promote his business interests. Key aspects of his business career. Branding. The Trump brand is a significant asset used to market various products and services. Real estate focus. While he has diversified, real estate remains a core part of his business. Financial leverage. He has frequently used debt to finance his projects. Litigation. Trump has been involved in numerous legal disputes throughout his business career. In essence, Donald Trump's business career is characterized by high-profile projects, aggressive deal-making, and a strong emphasis on branding. While he has achieved significant success, he has also faced financial challenges and controversies. Early political leanings and affiliations. Varied political views. Before his presidential run, Trump's political views were somewhat eclectic. He had expressed support for both Republican and Democratic candidates over the years. Potential candidacies. He had periodically floated the idea of running for political office, including the presidency, but had not previously followed through. Party affiliations. Trump's party affiliations shifted over time. He was a registered Republican, then a Democrat, and then a Republican again before his presidential campaign. 2016 presidential campaign. Announcement. Donald Trump officially announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination for President of the United States on June 16, 2015, at Trump Tower in New York City. Campaign rhetoric. His campaign was characterized by populist and nationalist themes. Key issues he emphasized included immigration, strict border control, building a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, and stricter immigration policies. Trade. Criticizing existing trade deals like NAFTA and advocating for protectionist measures. Make America Great Again, a slogan that resonated with many voters who felt the country was heading in the wrong direction. Anti-establishment sentiment. Positioning himself as an outsider challenging the political establishment. Communication style. Trump utilized a direct and often controversial communication style, frequently using rallies and social media, especially Twitter, to bypass traditional media outlets and connect directly with his supporters. Republican primaries. He won a series of Republican primaries and caucuses, often defying predictions from political analysts. His populist message and appeal to working-class voters proved effective. General election. He faced Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee, in the general election, despite many polls predicting a Clinton victory. Trump won the election on November 8, 2016, by securing a majority of the Electoral College votes. Although he lost the popular vote. Key aspects of his political rise. Populist appeal. His message resonated with voters who felt economically marginalized and culturally overlooked. Media savvy. His background in media and entertainment allowed him to command significant media attention. Social media dominance. His effective use of platforms like Twitter allowed him to control his narrative and directly engage with his base. Anti-establishment stance. His image as an outsider appealing to voters disillusioned with the political status quo was a powerful asset. In summary, Donald Trump's political career leading up to his presidency was marked by a surprising and unconventional campaign that tapped into a significant segment of the American electorate. His populist message, direct communication style, and anti-establishment stance propelled him to victory despite his lack of prior political experience. Domestic policy. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. This was a significant legislative achievement, significantly lowering corporate and individual income tax rates. It was a key part of the administration's economic agenda, aimed at stimulating economic growth. Deregulation. The Trump administration pursued deregulation across various sectors, including environmental regulations, financial regulations, and energy production. The goal was to reduce the burden on businesses and promote economic activity. Judicial appointments. Trump appointed 3 conservative justices to the Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These appointments shifted the ideological balance of the court, resulting in a conservative majority. Many other federal judges were appointed, also of a conservative nature. Healthcare. Trump and Republicans sought to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, ACA, or Obamacare. These efforts were met with significant opposition and ultimately unsuccessful. Immigration. The administration pursued stricter immigration policies, including the travel ban, restricting entry from several Muslim-majority countries. Construction of a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border was a key campaign promise, and some sections were built. Zero-tolerance policies and family separations at the border caused widespread controversy. Foreign policy. America First approach. Trump's foreign policy was guided by a nationalist and protectionist approach. He emphasized bilateral trade deals and questioned the value of multilateral alliances. Trade. The U.S. withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership (TPP) trade agreement. The North American Free Trade Agreement (NAFTA) was renegotiated, resulting in the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement (USMCA). Tariffs were imposed on goods from China, leading to a trade dispute between the two countries. International agreements. The U.S. withdrew from the Paris Agreement on climate change. The administration also withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. Middle East. The U.S. moved its embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. The administration brokered normalization agreements between Israel and several Arab countries. North Korea. Trump engaged in direct diplomatic talks with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un regarding denuclearization. Controversies and impeachments. Russian interference. The Mueller investigation examined Russian interference in the 2016 election and potential collusion with the Trump campaign. The investigation found evidence of Russian interference but did not establish criminal collusion. Impeachment, 2019. The House of Representatives impeached Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress related to his dealings with Ukraine. He was acquitted by the Senate. Impeachment, 2021. Following the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol, the House impeached Trump for incitement of insurrection. He was again acquitted by the Senate. January 6 Capitol attack. Trump's rhetoric and actions surrounding the attack on the Capitol building lead to widespread condemnation. Many legal challenges are still ongoing regarding these events. Key characteristics of his presidency. Unconventional style. Trump's communication style and approach to governing were often unconventional. Social media usage. His use of Twitter to communicate directly with the public was a defining feature of his presidency. Polarizing figure. His presidency was highly polarizing, with strong support from his base and intense opposition from his critics. Conservative reshaping of the judiciary. His appointments of conservative judges had a long-lasting effect on the judicial branch. Political activity. Continued influence. Trump has remained a dominant figure within the Republican Party, maintaining a strong base of support. He has actively endorsed candidates in Republican primaries and general elections, and his endorsements often carry significant weight. He holds frequent rallies, continuing to engage directly with his supporters. 2024 presidential campaign. Trump has announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential election. He has proceeded to win the Republican primary elections, and is the Republican nominee for the 2024 general election. Republican Party dynamics. His influence has significantly shaped the direction of the Republican Party, with many candidates aligning themselves with his policies and rhetoric. Legal challenges. Investigations. Trump has faced numerous legal investigations related to his business dealings, his actions surrounding the 2020 election, and the January 6 Capitol attack. These investigations have included inquiries into his financial practices, his role in election interference, and his handling of classified documents. Impeachments. As previously mentioned, he was impeached twice during his presidency, and the second impeachment trial occurred after he had left office. Civil and criminal cases. He is facing numerous civil and criminal cases, from business fraud to election interference. These legal battles are ongoing, and their outcomes remain to be seen. Key aspects. Maintaining influence. Trump has successfully maintained a high level of political influence, despite no longer holding office. Legal scrutiny. He faces unprecedented legal scrutiny, with multiple investigations and lawsuits ongoing. Divisive figure. He continues to be a highly divisive figure in American politics. In essence, Donald Trump's post-presidency is characterized by his continued political engagement and the significant legal challenges he faces. Donald Trump's personality and style are distinctive and have played a significant role in his business and political careers. Here's a more detailed look. Communication style. Direct and assertive. He is known for his direct, often blunt, communication style. He frequently uses strong language and expresses his opinions forcefully. Social media usage. His prolific use of social media, particularly X, formerly Twitter, has been a defining characteristic. He uses these platforms to communicate directly with his followers, bypass traditional media, and control his narrative. Rallies. His rallies are a key part of his political persona. He uses these events to connect with his supporters, deliver his message, and cultivate a sense of community. Counterpunching. He is known for his tendency to respond aggressively to criticism and attacks, often using personal insults and name-calling. Emphasis on branding. He understands the power of branding, and uses it to promote himself, his businesses, and his political agenda. Personality traits. Confidence and self-promotion. He projects an image of unwavering confidence and is a master of self-promotion. Entrepreneurial spirit. He has a strong entrepreneurial drive and a willingness to take risks. Competitive nature. He is highly competitive and driven to win. Unconventional approach. He often defies conventional norms and expectations. Populist appeal. He connects with his base by portraying himself as a person that is fighting for the common person against the establishment. Impact. Polarizing figure. His personality and style have contributed to his status as a highly polarizing figure. Media attention. His unconventional approach and outspokenness have consistently garnered significant media attention. Cult of personality. He has cultivated a strong cult of personality, with a devoted base of supporters. Political disruption. His style has disrupted traditional political norms and communication strategies. In summary, Donald Trump's personality and style are characterized by directness, assertiveness, and a strong emphasis on self-promotion. These traits have played a significant role in his success, as well as the controversies that surround him. Parents. Fred Trump, 1905 to 1999. Donald Trump's father was a successful real estate developer in New York City. He founded the Trump Organization, which Donald later took over and expanded. Fred Trump's business acumen and work ethic significantly influenced Donald. Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, 1912 to 2000. Donald Trump's mother was born in Scotland and immigrated to the United States. She was a philanthropist and homemaker. Siblings. Mary Ann Trump Barry, 1937 to 2023. Donald Trump's eldest sister was a federal appeals court judge. Fred Trump Jr., 1938 to 1981. Donald Trump's older brother, who struggled with alcoholism and died at a relatively young age. Donald has stated that his brother's struggles influenced his own decision to abstain from alcohol and smoking. Elizabeth Trump Grau, born 1942. Donald Trump's older sister. Robert Trump, 1948 to 2020. Donald Trump's younger brother, who was a business executive. Marriages and children. Ivana Trump, 1949 to 2022. Donald Trump's first wife, a Czech-American businesswoman and former model. They were married from 1977 to 1992. They had 3 children. Donald Trump Jr., born 1977. Business executive. Ivanka Trump, born 1981. Businesswoman and former senior advisor to her father. Eric Trump, born 1984. Business executive. Marla Maples, born 1963. Donald Trump's second wife, an American actress and television personality. They were married from 1993 to 1999. They had 1 child. Tiffany Trump, born 1993. Law graduate. Melania Trump, born 1970. Donald Trump's current wife, a Slovenian-American former model. They were married in 2005. They have 1 child. Barron Trump, born 2006. Grandchildren. Donald Trump has numerous grandchildren from his children. Key aspects. Donald Trump's family has played a significant role in his life and career. His children have been involved in his business and political endeavors. His family life has been a topic of public interest and media attention. Donald Trump's personality is a subject of much discussion and analysis. Here's a summary of some of the key traits often associated with him. Assertive and confident. Trump is known for projecting an image of unwavering confidence. He often expresses his opinions forcefully and rarely backs down from a position. Self-promoting. He has a strong tendency towards self-promotion, frequently highlighting his accomplishments and emphasizing his success. Competitive. He displays a highly competitive nature, driven by a desire to win and be perceived as successful. Direct and unconventional. His communication style is often direct and blunt, and he frequently deviates from traditional norms of political discourse. Populist. He cultivates a populist image, presenting himself as a champion of the common person against the establishment. Controversial. His personality and communication style often leads to controversy. Narcissistic traits. Many psychologists have noted that Trump's behavior aligns with many of the traits of narcissistic personality disorder. It's important to note that these are observations and interpretations of his public persona. Donald Trump's ambition is a complex and multifaceted subject, evident throughout his business and political careers. Here's an analysis of key aspects. 1. Unwavering drive for success. Trump's ambition is fundamentally rooted in a relentless pursuit of success, measured by wealth, power, and recognition. This drive is evident in his aggressive business ventures, his rise to prominence in the New York real estate scene, and his eventual entry into politics. He consistently strives to be perceived as a winner, often emphasizing his achievements and downplaying setbacks. 2. Desire for recognition and status. A significant component of Trump's ambition is the desire for recognition and status. His branding efforts, his television career, and his political campaigns all reflect a desire to be seen as a prominent and influential figure. He values public acclaim and often seeks to cultivate a larger-than-life persona. 3. Pursuit of power. Trump's political career demonstrates a strong ambition for power. His successful presidential campaign and his continued involvement in Republican politics indicate a desire to wield influence and shape national policy. His actions and rhetoric often suggest a belief in his own ability to lead and make significant changes. 4. Disrupting established norms. Trump's ambition is often expressed through a willingness to challenge established norms and conventions. Whether in business or politics, he has shown a tendency to disrupt traditional practices and pursue unconventional strategies. This approach reflects a desire to stand out and leave a lasting impact. 5. America First ideology. In his political career, his ambition has been closely tied to his America First ideology. This approach reflects a desire to restore what he perceives as America's lost greatness and to assert its dominance on the world stage. This ideology fuels his desire to win, and to be seen as the person that is restoring the USA. Key observations. Trump's ambition is often characterized by a high degree of self-belief and a willingness to take risks. His pursuit of success is often intertwined with a desire for personal recognition and public acclaim. His political ambition has been marked by a willingness to challenge established norms and a strong sense of nationalistic pride. His ambition is a driving force that has fueled his actions throughout his life. Donald Trump's financial situation is complex and has been a subject of much public scrutiny. Here's a summary of key aspects. Key financial assets. Real estate. A significant portion of his wealth is tied to real estate holdings, including properties like Trump Tower in New York City and Mar-a-Lago in Florida. His real estate portfolio is a core part of the Trump Organization. Golf courses and resorts. He owns and operates numerous golf courses and resorts around the world. Branding and licensing. The Trump brand itself is a valuable asset, used in licensing deals for various products and services. Factors affecting his finances. Business ventures. Like any large business, the Trump Organization experiences fluctuations in revenue and profitability. Some of his ventures have been highly successful, while others have faced financial challenges. Legal challenges. Ongoing legal battles have the potential to significantly impact his finances, both in terms of legal fees and potential judgments. Market volatility. The value of his real estate holdings and other assets can be affected by economic conditions and market fluctuations. Public perception. Public perception of his brand and political actions can have a large effect on the profitability of his businesses. Key points. Estimating Donald Trump's exact net worth is challenging, as his financial information is not always publicly available. His financial situation is influenced by a variety of factors, including his business ventures, legal challenges, and market conditions. It is important to understand that there are many ongoing legal situations that are having and will continue to have large effects on his financial standing. It's important to rely on credible financial news sources for the most up-to-date information. Donald Trump's childhood in Queens, New York, played a significant role in shaping his personality and future endeavors. Here's a closer look. Family background. Fred Trump. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. Fred's business acumen and work ethic had a strong influence on young Donald. Fred was known to be a very hard worker, and instilled those values in his children. Mary Ann MacLeod Trump. His mother, Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, was a Scottish immigrant. She provided a strong presence in the family. Donald was the fourth of 5 children. Early characteristics. Assertiveness. Even as a child, Donald Trump displayed a strong and assertive personality. Reports indicate he was sometimes a rough child. Discipline. Due to behavioral issues, his parents sent him to the New York Military Academy at the age of 13. This experience was intended to instill discipline and structure. Early exposure to business. Growing up in a real estate family, he was exposed to the world of business from an early age. It is reported that he showed an early interest in his father's business. Key points. His childhood environment, with a successful and driven father, played a role in his own ambition. The military academy experience shaped his sense of discipline and self-reliance. His early personality traits, such as assertiveness, were evident from a young age. It's important to understand that childhood experiences can have lasting effects on an individual's personality and behavior. Donald Trump's educational background is marked by several significant academic achievements, but his approach to schooling has often been a subject of public interest due to his unconventional style. Early education. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He attended Q Forest School in Queens, a private school, where he studied until the age of 13. His early years were marked by a rebellious attitude towards traditional schooling, which led his parents to send him to a military academy. Military Academy. At the age of 13, Trump was enrolled in New York Military Academy, NYMA, a private school located in Cornwall-on-Hudson, New York. The decision was made by his parents, who felt that military discipline would help channel his energy and assertiveness. Trump graduated from NYMA in 1964, excelling in leadership roles and athletics. He later stated that the academy taught him about discipline and leadership. Undergraduate education. After graduating from the military academy, Trump attended Fordham University in the Bronx, New York, for 2 years. He began his studies in 1964 and spent 2 years at Fordham before transferring to Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in 1966. The Wharton School is one of the most prestigious business schools in the United States. Trump graduated from Wharton in 1968 with a Bachelor of Science in Economics. Specializing in real estate, he has often mentioned his time at Wharton, claiming that it was an instrumental part of his success in business. His father, Fred Trump, was a well-established real estate developer, and his education at Wharton gave him the tools to continue his family's business. Graduate studies. While Donald Trump attended Wharton, there is no evidence to suggest that he pursued any postgraduate or graduate-level education beyond his undergraduate studies. Throughout his career, Trump has maintained that his business acumen, rather than advanced degrees, was the key to his success. Summary. Donald Trump's academic journey reflects his early challenges with traditional schooling, his time at a military academy, and his eventual education in economics at one of the country's leading business schools. Wharton. Despite controversies regarding his academic performance and his later business decisions, Trump's educational background laid the foundation for his career in real estate and politics. Donald Trump has often expressed a deep affection for several places throughout his life, but there are a few that stand out as his personal favorites. 1. Mar-a-Lago, Florida. Mar-a-Lago, located in Palm Beach, Florida, is perhaps Donald Trump's most well-known and beloved property. He frequently refers to it as his Winter White House. Trump has spent a significant amount of time at Mar-a-Lago, particularly after his presidency, where it became both his residence and a private club. He has spoken publicly about how much he enjoys the location, praising its beauty and private atmosphere. 2. Trump Tower, New York. Trump Tower, located on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, holds a special place in Trump's heart. It's not only a symbol of his real estate empire but also a personal and professional hub. Trump lived in the penthouse at Trump Tower for many years, and it was his base of operations during his presidential campaign and time in office. He has frequently spoken about how much he loves New York City, where his career began. 3. Bedminster, New Jersey, Trump National Golf Club. Another favorite spot of Donald Trump's is his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. He has spent a lot of time at Trump National Golf Club during his presidency, particularly during weekends. It's another of his private retreats where he enjoys golfing and hosting events. 4. Scotland, Trump Turnberry Golf Resort. Trump has a special connection to his golf resorts in Scotland, especially Trump Turnberry in Ayrshire. He has spoken often about his love for Scotland, and Turnberry is one of his most cherished properties. He has also expressed pride in the historical significance of the golf course and its status as one of the finest in the world. Conclusion. While Donald Trump has several properties he holds dear, Mar-a-Lago in Florida stands out as his most favored and iconic location. It represents both his personal residence and his luxurious lifestyle, and it remains a place where he feels comfortable and at home. For Donald Trump, the most important things in his life and career seem to revolve around a few key themes that define his actions, decisions, and public persona. Here are the aspects that appear to be most important to him. 1. Power and influence. Political power. Trump has consistently sought and maintained political power, first as a businessman, then as the President of the United States, and now as a prominent political figure. His quest for influence is often driven by his desire to have a strong and lasting impact on the country and the political landscape. Power, in this sense, is not only about holding office but also about shaping policies and the future of the nation according to his views. Control and authority. Throughout his career, Trump has demonstrated a strong desire for control. Whether in business, media, or politics, he tends to make decisions independently and often with a view to asserting his authority. His leadership style is centered around making bold decisions and exercising control, which often aligns with his need for power. 2. Success and winning. Winning and achievement. Trump has frequently emphasized the importance of winning in all aspects of his life. Whether in business, television, or politics, he has cultivated an image as a winner. His slogan, "Make America Great Again," tapped into this idea, presenting himself as someone who can achieve great things and bring about success. Business success. Trump has often linked his identity to his success in the real estate and business sectors. The Trump brand is built around the idea of luxury, success, and high-profile projects, and this emphasis on business achievement has played a central role in his public image. 3. Loyalty and personal relationships. Loyalty. Trump places a high value on loyalty, both in his business dealings and his political life. His relationships with family, friends, and supporters often revolve around mutual loyalty. He expects loyalty from those around him, and those who show loyalty to him are rewarded with his trust and support. Family. His family plays a central role in both his personal and professional life. Trump has often made it clear that his children, particularly Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric, are extremely important to him. He has involved them in his businesses and political endeavors, often publicly showcasing their loyalty and support. 4. Public perception and image. Publicity and media attention. Throughout his career, Trump has carefully cultivated his public image, often using media coverage to his advantage. Whether through his appearances on television, his role in The Apprentice, or his controversial use of social media, especially Twitter, Trump is highly focused on maintaining a public presence and controlling the narrative around his image. Public perception is incredibly important to him, as he sees it as a way to maintain power and influence. Winning the media. Trump has a long-standing relationship with the media, often using it to advance his own interests. His ability to generate headlines and media coverage has been a key part of his strategy. Both as a businessman and as a politician, he has frequently critiqued and sometimes bypassed traditional media to maintain his message and influence. 5. America's greatness and nationalism. American exceptionalism. Trump often speaks about America as a uniquely powerful and exceptional nation, and he has positioned himself as someone who will restore the country to its former greatness. His focus on America First policies reflects his belief in prioritizing U.S. interests above all else in global politics and economics. Nationalism and patriotism are central to his political ideology, and his vision of America is one that reasserts its dominance on the global stage. Economic prosperity. Trump's economic policies, particularly his focus on job creation, tax cuts, and deregulation, highlight his desire to make America economically prosperous. His policies were geared toward revitalizing American industries, reducing government intervention, and promoting domestic economic growth. 6. Legacy. Building a lasting legacy. Trump has often spoken about creating a lasting legacy that will be remembered long after his time in office. This is reflected in his desire to shape the political landscape, build iconic real estate projects, and influence the direction of the nation. His legacy is something he constantly refers to, particularly in the context of his presidency and how he will be remembered in history. Conclusion. For Donald Trump, the most important things are power, success, loyalty, public image, and national greatness. These elements drive his decisions, his career, and his actions both in business and politics. His pursuit of influence, his desire to win in every aspect of his life, and his need to maintain a positive public image are key components of his personality and leadership style. Additionally, his strong focus on the idea of American exceptionalism and securing a lasting legacy shape much of his worldview and goals.